She stood in the checkout line staring at the single-dollar bill in her hand. It was the last money she had until Friday. $1 to her name. The cashier was waiting. The people behind her were impatient. And just outside the store doors, a stranger's shaky voice asked for help. What happened next would change her life in ways she never imagined. Before we begin, if you love powerful true-to-life stories that remind you the world still has good people in it, make sure to subscribe to our channel, like this video, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Welcome to Kindness Story Hub, where every story proves that even the smallest act of kindness can create the biggest miracle. Her name was Emily Carter, and she was 32 years old, living in a small town just outside Columbus, Ohio. Life hadn't been easy for her lately. After losing her job at a local diner when it closed down, she had been scraping by on part-time shifts at a grocery store and selling handmade bracelets online. Rent was due in 3 days. Her car needed gas. Her fridge was almost empty. That Wednesday evening, Emily had walked into the corner store with exactly $1 in her pocket. She planned to buy a pack of ramen noodles to stretch her dinner for another night. It wasn't much, but it would keep her going. As she waited in line, she noticed an elderly man standing near the entrance. His clothes were worn but clean. His gray hair was thin, and his hands trembled slightly as he held a small paper cup. Most people walked past him without making eye contact. A few shook their heads before he could even speak. When Emily stepped outside after paying for her noodles, she heard him clearly. Ma'am. I'm sorry to bother you. I'm just trying to get enough for a bus ticket to the shelter. His voice wasn't aggressive. It wasn't demanding. It was embarrassed. Emily stopped. She felt that familiar tightening in her chest. She knew what it felt like to be one paycheck away from disaster. She knew the fear of not knowing where your next meal would come from. And here she was, holding a plastic bag with the only food she could afford. In her pocket was nothing. That single dollar was already gone. She hesitated for a moment, then looked down at the bag in her hand. Without fully thinking it through, she walked back inside. The cashier looked confused when Emily returned the ramen noodles. I'm sorry, she said softly. I actually don't need this. The cashier shrugged and refunded her dollar. Emily walked back outside and placed the crumpled bill into the old man's trembling hand. It's not much, she said, offering a small smile. But I hope it helps. The man looked at the dollar like it was 100. Thank you, he whispered. You have no idea what this means to me. Emily nodded and walked away quickly before he could see the tears forming in her eyes. That night, she went to bed hungry. Her stomach growled, and her thoughts raced. Had she made a mistake? That dollar could have been her dinner. It could have been something small but certain. Instead, she had given it away to a stranger she would probably never see again. But despite the hunger, something else filled her chest. It wasn't regret, it was peace. The next morning, Emily woke up early for her shift at the grocery store. She moved slowly, still feeling the effects of skipping dinner. When she arrived, her manager, Tom, called her into his office. Her heart sank. Was she about to lose this job too? Tom cleared his throat. Emily, I've been watching how hard you work, he said. You pick up extra shifts. You help customers without being asked. You never complain. She blinked, unsure where this was going. We just had a supervisor position open up, he continued. It comes with full-time hours and benefits. I'd like to offer it to you. For a moment, Emily couldn't speak. Full-time. Benefits. A steady paycheck. Are you serious? She asked, her voice shaking. Tom smiled. You've earned it. Emily walked out of that office in a daze. It felt unreal. Just the night before, she had gone to bed hungry, wondering how she would survive the week. And now, everything was changing, but the story doesn't end there. That afternoon, as Emily was stocking shelves, she noticed a familiar face near the front of the store. It was the elderly man. He was wearing the same worn jacket, but this time he stood straighter. When he saw her, his face lit up. "Miss," he called gently. Emily walked over, surprised. "I've been looking for you," he said. "I didn't catch your name yesterday." "Emily," she replied softly. He nodded. "Emily, my name is Robert." He reached into his coat pocket and pulled out a small envelope. "I made it to the shelter last night because of you," he said. "And this morning, I called my daughter. We haven't spoken in years. But she came to get me." Emily felt her eyes widen. "She lives 2 towns over," Robert continued. "We had a disagreement long ago, and I was too proud to fix it. But when I told her what happened, about a young woman who gave me her last dollar, she cried." He placed the envelope in Emily's hand. "There's a little something in there," he said. "It's not just from me. It's from my daughter too. She owns a small cleaning company and is always looking for reliable people. She asked me to give you her card." Emily opened the envelope slowly. Inside was a $50 bill and a business card. She immediately tried to hand the money back. "I can't take this," she said. "I only gave you $1. Robert smiled gently. "That dollar reminded me that the world still has good people. It gave me the courage to call my daughter. You didn't just give me money, Emily. You gave me hope." Emily stood there speechless. Over the next few weeks, her life continued to shift in quiet but powerful ways. She started her new supervisor role. The extra income helped her catch up on rent. She even reached out to Robert's daughter about weekend cleaning work, and soon she had an additional steady side job. But more than the financial blessing, something inside her had changed. She began to look at every interaction differently. When a tired mother struggled with groceries, Emily helped her to her car. When a teenage employee felt overwhelmed, she took time to listen. When she saw someone standing alone, she offered a smile. Kindness became her habit. Months later, on a crisp autumn afternoon, Emily received a letter in the mail. It was from Robert. He wrote that he was now living with his daughter, helping take care of his grandchildren. He had found part-time work at a hardware store and was slowly rebuilding his life. At the bottom of the letter, he had written one sentence in careful, shaky handwriting: "Your dollar was small, but it built a bridge back to my family." Emily kept that letter on her nightstand. She often thought about how close she had been to choosing differently that day. No one would have judged her if she had kept the dollar. She needed it. She deserved it, but sometimes the greatest miracles begin with the smallest sacrifices. A year later, Emily started a small community pantry outside her apartment building. It wasn't fancy, just a wooden box with canned goods and snacks for anyone who needed them. Neighbors began contributing. Strangers stopped by. Word spread, and every time someone asked her why she started it, she would smile and say, "Because once, someone needed $1 more than I did." The truth is, kindness doesn't always come from abundance. Sometimes it comes from emptiness. Sometimes it costs us something. But what it gives back is often far greater than what we lose. Emily's story reminds us that we never truly know what someone else is carrying. A single conversation, a small sacrifice, or even $1 can ripple outward in ways we may never fully see. So the next time you're faced with a choice, hold on tightly to what little you have, or open your hand and share it. Remember this story, because somewhere out there, someone's life might be waiting on your small act of courage, and maybe, just maybe, your $1 could build a bridge back to someone's family, or even change your own life forever. If this story touched your heart, share it with someone who needs a reminder that kindness still matters. Here at Kindness Story Hub, we believe the world changes one small act at a time, and it starts with you.